This is the story of how I decided to color my hair and how I finally decided I deserve to take up space as an artist. Believe it or not, they're connected. If you're like me, coloring your hair probably isn't a matter of vanity, but a matter of art. Let me know if you hear yourself in my story. My natural hair color is a deep plain brown. Nothing wrong with that. It's a fine color. And the day I turned 29 on a sunny picnic in Maine with my head in my sweet husband's lap, he pipes up with, "Oh, look, a gray hair. Ha ha." Happy birthday, honey. Now, I absolutely love claiming our age in every way. I have one face cream and a mascara I usually forget to use. I eat yogurt and make my own granola, so natural is my middle name. We have a garden, a small fruit orchard, a compost pile, and a house filled with dog hair. I believe it's a great privilege to get to grow older. My nephews used to call me their peace and love aunt, so you'd think going gray naturally would be my thing. I thought so too. But I also really love color. I'm an artist, and color really affects me profoundly. Like when we first toured this house, I didn't want anything to do with it because the colors in the kitchen clashed so badly. In my mind, I could hear the deep orange countertops and the pale pink wallpaper yelling at each other, and I couldn't wait to get outside. My husband had to remind me that we could paint the walls, which is hilarious because I paint everything. Now we've owned this house for 25 years, and the kitchen is my favorite room. We've painted it a golden color that glows like the sun in the afternoon, and the whole room gives off a warmth that makes me always want to be in here. So when gray started to infiltrate my brown hair, well, imagine brown and white and how it kind of makes a taupe color, a washed out tan I saw on my mama and older sister's heads. I promise you that is not a color I wear or ever have anywhere around me. So at about 45, I started coloring my hair at the salon. It didn't take long for me to not be able to afford that. We have 2 kids and it wasn't in the budget. I tried the boxes in the store and no, I did not like them. My hair felt bad after, brittle, startled, abused. That's when I found Madison Reed, and I gave it a try, and I was hooked. The colors are amazing. My hair felt great. The kit had everything in it that I needed. I used them for years, joyfully. Madison Reed isn't sponsoring this video, by the way. I just love their products. But if you're interested to try Madison Reed hair colors, I've included a link in the description. And if you use that link to purchase anything, they give me some small commission at no cost to you. As I aged and got more gray, I went from getting the kit shipped every 6 weeks to getting it every 5 weeks. And as I got even grayer, it was going to need to be every 4 weeks to cover my roots. But right then, I lost the space where I had my furniture art studio and store. A profitable business, deep community connection, and source of great joy. I had to sell off my furniture inventory, and I kind of crashed. I turned 60 the next month. I canceled the Madison Reed subscription for 2 reasons. I couldn't justify the money since I wasn't earning much from my little part-time job, and I was so down that everything looked gray to me anyway. I let my hair go gray for a year. People say if you want to see someone who has real courage, look at a woman letting her hair go gray after it was colored. But I was so out of it, I didn't really care. It was an honest reflection of how I felt. For the first time in my life, I also wore mostly black and gray clothes a lot of this time. I was hurt and scared, and it felt like someone had chopped off my arm. Like I was bleeding with the loss of the art space, and everyone around me was tra-la-la going about their day, while all the life and color and vitality was draining out of me. Over a few months, I did the work to find my part in why I lost that space. And it was eye-opening and extremely instructive for me going forward. I realized I had not been honoring myself and kept setting myself up with sketchy arrangements that had no written agreements. These were arrangements where I paid a creative rent and was entirely dependent on the other party's willingness to have me there. I just believed they would go on that way, that we'd have great working relationships. Well, that's not really how things usually go. And because they were delicately set up, I didn't want to rock the boat by asking how things were going. So twice, suddenly, I had gotten news that it's over and I had to leave. It was crushing, especially this last time, but I played a huge part in it myself by accepting agreements that weren't ever written down or all that clear, and by not checking in frequently. What I learned was I need to treat my artistic business with respect, which means creating an arrangement with a lease and a formal agreement if I was to ever make this work. It took a while before I was mentally and emotionally prepared to pony up that kind of commitment to myself, to my art. I looked over the furniture art I've created and sold, remembered the delight of my clients, and convinced myself of my own legitimacy as a furniture artist. Regardless of the beautiful art of other kinds that other people make, regardless of the kinds of art I don't know how to make or don't want to make, or the shows I haven't been invited to, or the rejections I've faced, I decided that I want a space where I can make the kind of art I make, where I can birth my creations and send them out into the world. And I deserve that space. And if this kind of video is interesting or helpful to you in any way, I'd love it if you hit the like and subscribe buttons. That would help me to know if I should keep making videos or just focus on painting and not make videos at all. Either way, thanks for watching this far. So I healed, I did the work, and I decided I wanted to move forward with a space, and I started looking again. When I found a spot I thought would be great, I held a pop-up shop for a couple of weekends to test my hypothesis, and I was really right that this is a great location for me. I started to feel hopeful again and bring color and paints and art back into my life. Now, when I looked into the mirror, that huge amount of gray was a shock to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I have friends who look positively radiant in gray hair, and they wear the blues, purples, fuchsia, and pink that I think go so well with silver hair. But me, I'm a fall girl. I love deep orange and rust and all the greens of Ireland. For me, it's gold and copper all the way. I've never liked silver. It always feels cold to me, on me. And I'm cold enough living in Vermont, man. I want warmth, and that's copper and gold, deep green and sunshine. So I ordered Madison Reed again. This time I joined their new club, so I get free shipping, some little free gifts, a full-sized free product once a year, and discounts on products. There's a more advanced club membership too, with other benefits, but I'm doing this level. It's right for me. I had a really hard time choosing my color this time around because I love two of their colors, Sardinia, which is a red-brown, and Firenze, which is a brown with a little red. I really wish there were a color right between these two. That would be perfect for me. But I finally chose Sardinia for my first free color after going gray for a year. And here's what happened. As I went to apply the color, remember, some of my hair was brown and some of my hair was white. Now, if you color red paint over a brown surface and you color red paint over a white surface, they will look very different. And that's what happened with my hair. I would have been better off starting with the Firenze because it's closer to my natural hair color of brown. Then I could color it all with the reddish Sardinia next time and give all the brown hair a touch of red. But what I did was put red on brown hair and red on white hair all on my same head, and it's a bit startling. Madison Reed has color consultants available, and I really wish I had called and asked for their advice, but here we are. So I changed my second box to be Firenze, and that's what I'm applying today. It's a nice brown. So it should bring my overall hair color to be a brown with some red underlights. Meanwhile, I'm working out details now with the landlord for that space I tested out. I'll tell you more about it as we go. I hope you subscribe if you're interested to see how it develops. Whatever you do with your hair, I hope it comes from your heart. My furniture art line is, wake up to the colors you love, because I know the impact of color on my own life, and I know how hard life can be sometimes. So I leverage color to help me find the courage and the oomph and the boogie in my soul so I can get up with joy and go out into our sometimes harsh world and try to make it a little better. For me, that starts when I open my eyes in the morning with the wall color and the color of the furniture in our bedroom, the color of the hallways, the color of the furniture in our home, the lighting in the bathroom, and it includes the face I see looking back at me in the mirror and the color of my hair. I honor and cherish your decisions about your own colors, your own home, your own hair, your own life. And I hope your colors help you wake up and dance in this short, crazy party of life.